Yesterday was wild. I'm just at home playing my video games, eating my food, petting my cats, when somebody rings my doorbell. I go to the front door, open it up, and there's two guys, I think, standing there. They're in these suits with a tie, and they both have these giant bushy beards on them. The shorter guy, he says, "Well, hello, sir. How are you today?" And I tell him, "Well, I was doing good, but then you guys had to interrupt me. I was playing Fallout 4, and I was having a great time. So thank you for ruining my time." And the man says, "Oh, you like Fallout 4? Well, I have something that would interest you greatly." And the taller man next to him just keeps nodding his head like this. His gigantic bushy beard is going flipping all over the place. And I noticed that the bushy beard at least on the tall man, there's just a string on it, because every time he does this, the beard just goes flying up, and then he has to keep readjusting it back onto his chin. And I say, "Okay, what could possibly interest me?" And he said, "Wow, well. How would you like to learn about Fallout 5? I said, "Okay. I don't know how you would know anything about Fallout 5, because as far as I know, it's not being made yet." And he says, "Aha, but it is. For you see, I have the inside scoop on Fallout 5 and all of your favorite Bethesda game studios video games." And I say, well, tell me more." And he says, "Of course, but first, sign this paper. It's just saying that I told you what's going on with Fallout." And I look at it, it's not just a paper, it's this gigantic thick ream of paper. Every single sheet has something written on it. And I say, "Shouldn't I read this before signing it?" And he says, "Oh, no. You don't need to. It's just some standard thing. Don't worry about it." And I said, "Okay." And I sign it. And he takes it, he signs it, he shows it to his tall friend with a fake beard. He looks at it, nods, his beard goes flying up again, and he gets a stamp out and stamps it. And I say, "Okay, tell me about Fallout. I need to know." And he says, "Aha, you should have read what you just signed." And instead of Fallout telling me about Fallout, he brings out a copy of Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch and puts it in my hand. And he says, "You have just purchased this fantastic copy of Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch for a mere $59.99. Now, at that moment, I realized I had been bamboozled. I took the tall man's beard, ripped it off. Who was it? It was Pete Hines. I took the small man's beard, ripped it off. It was a real beard, and it was Todd Howard. He'd grown a real beard, and now he's bleeding all over the place. And he was screaming, and he said, "I just wanted you to love Skyrim as much as I do." And I said, "Todd, you've already given me like 20 copies of Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. What the hell is wrong with you?" And he says, "I need the money." And he runs off. And they get into this little 1987 Geo, and it's just sputtering and shooting blue smoke out the back. And I just don't know what's wrong with me. This is literally at least the 20th time I've been bamboozled by Todd Howard and Pete Hines into buying Skyrim. Not just for the Nintendo Switch, for everything. Screw you, Todd.